The Cardinals, led by Jacoby Brissett, rolled into Jerry's world, and they kicked the Cowboys' butts 27-17. They improved to 3-5 on the season. And the Cowboys' offense looks much better with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback than what it does with Kyler Murray. The passing attack is more efficient. You saw Marvin Harrison Jr. awaken from his slumber. He finally looks like the player that the Cardinals envisioned him being when they drafted him 4th overall. When he broke DeRon Bland's ankles for that touchdown, you knew it was going to be a long night for the Cowboys, especially on the defensive side of the football. And Jacoby Brissett, in the 3 games that he has started in replace of Kyler Murray, has thrown the same amount of touchdowns that Kyler Murray has thrown all season long. And at this point, it's time for the Cardinals to just cut their losses and move on from Kyler Murray. And one of my bold predictions for this season was that the Cardinals would trade Kyler Murray next offseason, because you've seen the best that you're going to see out of Kyler Murray. He has already peaked when he led the Cardinals to the playoffs back when they had Cliff Kingsbury and they got shut out by the Rams. That was the peak of the Cardinals with Kyler Murray at quarterback. And with the Cardinals already having limitations that he has to overcome with the dysfunction of this organization, having one of the worst owners in the NFL, you're asking a lot of him to overcome that, along with his own limitations, being one of the smallest quarterbacks in the league. And Kyler Murray is a fun quarterback. He's one of the most athletically gifted quarterbacks to ever enter this league, but people confuse fun with good. Just because Kyler Murray is a fun quarterback to watch doesn't mean he's a good quarterback. It doesn't mean that he's going to be a good enough QB to lead the Cardinals to the Super Bowl. And I'm not saying that Jacoby Brissett is that answer for the Cardinals, but Jacoby Brissett just runs this offense more smoother and more consistently than what Kyler Murray does. Kyler Murray is the most streaky quarterback in the NFL. He can play good one week and then have a bad stretch of football right after. And the Cardinals need consistency. They have a defensive-minded coach, so you need more consistent quarterback play than what you've gotten out of Kyler Murray. And they've already been through 2 head coaches. And if you fire Jonathan Gannon and you bring in a 3rd guy, then eventually, how many guys are you going to run through until you eventually point the finger at Kyler Murray and say, you know what, you're the problem? And I think Jonathan Gannon is a really good coach, but he's being handcuffed, being attached to a quarterback in Kyler Murray that just isn't a winning QB. Kyler Murray, do you really look at him and say, yeah, we can win a Super Bowl with this? He can't see over his offensive line. He gets scared when he gets a little bit of pressure in his face because he doesn't like to get hit. He will be better off playing somewhere else. And there are plenty of teams that will be more than willing to give up a 1st-round pick to get Kyler Murray. He's not a bad quarterback, but he's not a good quarterback either. He's a tweener. And Kyler Murray is still living off potential. And he's been in the NFL for a while. And yet we still don't know what he is. And at this point, we just have to accept that Kyler Murray just is a above average, okay quarterback. And even if he does reach his full ceiling in the right situation, that still probably isn't good enough for Kyler Murray to get a team over the hump. And Jacoby Brissett, he's not the long-term solution at quarterback for the Cardinals either, but at least you give the team a better shot at making it to the playoffs with Jacoby Brissett than what you do with Kyler Murray, because you know what you're going to get out of Jacoby Brissett. He's going to take care of the football. He's going to manage the game. And that's all you're asking for if you're Jonathan Gannon as a defensive-minded coach. You don't need a lot of flash. People confuse flash with good. And flash doesn't win a lot of games. Kyler Murray is in that same prototype of quarterback that Russell Wilson and Caleb Williams are. They're good outside the structure. They're not good inside the pocket. And when you have a quarterback that can't throw in the middle of the field, that can't operate the quick game, You put a lot of limitations on the guy calling the plays. And look how good Marvin Harrison was playing tonight. Look how good Trey McBride looked. This is one of the best performances that both Trey McBride and MHJ have had in a while. And it's a testament to Jacoby Brissett and how he has stabilized the quarterback position for the Arizona Cardinals. Sometimes it takes you losing something valuable to realize what you lost isn't really that valuable at all. And Jacoby Brissett, for him to play as well as what he has in replace of Kyler Murray, tells you everything that you need to know as far as Kyler Murray's value to this team. He's replaceable. At this point, the Cardinals just need to go ahead and finalize this divorce between them and Kyler Murray because it just isn't working out. You're paying this dude elite quarterback money to get average to slightly above average quarterback play at best when you're getting the same play out of Kyler Murray that you're getting in Jacoby Brissett, but for a lot cheaper and a lot more consistent. So it's time for the Cardinals to go ahead and move on from Kyler Murray. There's an old saying that goes, you got to know when to hold them and you got to know when to fold them. And it's time for the Cardinals to fold their hands with Kyler Murray.